Hello, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our bets and your bets, it's going to be another profitable day for you. College football, week 12, Saturday games. Earlier episode this week, we gave you the Tuesday through Friday bets. Now let's hit everything on this Saturday as well. We're going to start off. We got a big game to get going. At the noon window, Texas and Arkansas. And this line's actually went the opposite way, I thought. Texas on the road, going to Fayetteville here. 12-point favorite currently. We got it at 13.5, and we really liked it there. So at 12, even better. 57.5 total in this one. Let's give you, Texas, yes, they had a brain fart against Georgia. They kind of had a bummer week right behind it against Vanderbilt. Looked strong last week. We expect them to come out like gangbusters here against Arkansas. Texas minus 3.5 first quarter, 7.5 first half, and 13.5 for the game. Next game up, Utah at Colorado. Colorado 11-point favorite here, 45 total. All right, we understand Utah's on like their fourth string quarterback. I'm with you here. This number is a big number for a team that struggles with offensive and defensive line like the Buffs versus a team not. I'm not saying Colorado doesn't cover here. We're just not real comfortable on that. That would be our lean, is to play Colorado. Or Utah, if you have team totals available in your state. Utah team total under might not be a bad play in this one as well. No play for us in this one, but should be a great chance for Colorado to get another win. And what a year for Deion. They go well above their win projected total once again, and they're fighting for a chance to get into the Big 12 championship game as well. Next game up, Clemson at Pitt. So Clemson was hot, and then all of a sudden, what the hell just happened to them? Like, all of a sudden now can't cover or win. They're 11.5-point favorite here at Pittsburgh. No play for us in this one. To be really honest, we would lean Pitt and take the points. As, like I said, Clemson hasn't figured out how to, they've been slow starting the last couple games and haven't figured out how to finish them off. Still in that noon window, Tulane and Navy. So, obviously, Navy was fantastic up to the Notre Dame game. Then, all of a sudden, the wheels came off. They had 6 turnovers. They're starting to get a little bit of the injury bug. Tulane is a real team. That's all I'm going to say. The line has moved from 6.5 to 7. We really like Tulane in this spot. Tulane minus 1.5 first quarter, 3.5 first half, and minus 6.5 for the game. Next game up, Ohio State Northwestern, still in that noon window. Ohio State traveling to Northwestern, 28.5-point favorite. Actually, this game's going to be played at Wrigley Field, so always one of those fun games where we get to see Wrigley into a football stadium. To be honest here, Ohio State should win this game, and they should win it in the 30s. No play for us in this particular one here, as Ohio State's been a little tough to read, to say the least. They come out and they beat up Purdue, but they barely cover against Nebraska. They beat Penn State on the road. Like I said, they should be able to handle this game, but no play for us in this one. Then we get to Liberty and UMass, still in that early window. Liberty finally covered a game last week. Now they're 14-point favorite at UMass. UMass is not good at all. If I had any faith in Liberty to cover a number, this would be the week, and it's only 2 touchdowns. Liberty honestly has a good chance to win this thing by 30 if they play up to their potential. No play for us, but we would lean towards the Liberty on that one. And then we get to Louisiana Tech, Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky is the home of, we're going to make you sweat out every 2-3 touchdown cover we got, versus Tech here, who's definitely struggled after they had a nice couple-week stretch. Western Kentucky favored by 13.5, 52 total. If we had to make a play in this game, we don't have one, but we would lean to the over, actually, 52. Is how we see that game brewing out there. Next game up, ULM Auburn. So I know Louisiana Monroe's not that good, but Auburn's really a 25-point favorite against anybody. Are they going to be able to score 25 points? That's my concern here with Auburn. The defense is pretty good shape, but scoring 25 points, I don't know if they can pull that off. So therefore, covering 25 might be a little bit difficult here. No play for us in this one, but if we had to play it here, we would actually take ULM plus the 25. Now we get to the 1 o'clock Eastern window. We've got one game there. Coastal Carolina traveling to Marshall. Typically, we've been behind Marshall the whole time if they're at home, and that is not any different here. The line has moved from 8 to 9, so make sure you get on before it hits 10. Marshall minus 2.5 first quarter, minus 4.5 first half, and minus 8 for the game. Next game up, Jacksonville, and we're at the 2 o'clock Eastern window now. FIU, Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State's got one of the more explosive offenses in the country. They can put up points in a bundle. FIU, they're not fantastic scoring-wise, but the way we're playing this game, we just need them to score a couple touchdowns, and I think we get this thing. It wouldn't surprise me if Jacksonville State puts 49-14, would not shock me in the least in this game. 58.5 is the total now. That has went up, so if you want on this one, like I said, it's moving. Jacksonville State, FIU, over 13.5 first quarter, 28.5 first half, 57.5 for the game. And if somehow FIU could figure out a way to score 21 in this game, I think we got that game in the bag. Next game up, Florida Atlantic and Temple. FAU traveling to Temple. They're a 2.5-point road dog, 51 total. We're still at that 2 o'clock Eastern time frame. Temple is god-awful. FAU's not fantastic at football this season, but they're better than Temple. And you're getting 2.5. Understand it's on the road, but I'll take my chances here with the better team. FAU plus a half first quarter, 1.5 first half, and 2.5 for the game. Next game up, Mercer, Alabama. This game finally got on the board. It's also at that 2 o'clock Eastern time frame window. 42.5 is a monster number. Alabama should be able to cover this one. Nothing we're interested in playing, though, as this is kind of their week where they take a week off almost with that SEC schedule. If we had to lean one direction, it would be to Alabama covering that number against Mercer, but no play for us in that one. Now the 2:30. We're at the 2:30 Eastern window time. Michigan State, Illinois, traveling to Champaign there. Illinois favored by 2.5. All right, so Illinois had a little bit of, they've hit the skids a shade here. Michigan State, though, all their games they've done well in have been at home, not on the road. Illinois favored by 2.5 here, and we like Illinois for sure. Illinois minus a half first quarter, minus a half first half, and minus 2.5 for the game. Next game up, we get to the 3 o'clock Eastern time frame games. Syracuse, California. So Cal's been pretty interesting. Obviously, they had game day there. They played fantastic against Miami, but gave up that game late. Now they're a 9.5-point favorite against Syracuse. If you can tell me Kyle McCord's not going to turn the ball over, Syracuse is actually probably a good play. Now, the key is Kyle McCord more than likely is going to have multiple turnovers in this one. 57.5 total. The only thing we'd be interested in playing here would probably be the total, and we'd probably play it to the over, but no play for us in that one. We're still at the 3 o'clock Eastern. Sam Houston, Kennesaw State. This line's moved a few points as well. Sam Houston, not offensively as as minded as they were last season. Kennesaw State, one of the worst teams in the country. 42.5 total. We like the over here. I think Sam Houston's going to put up some points, and it would not shock me if Kennesaw State gets a touchdown or two. So Sam Houston, Kennesaw State over 7.5 first quarter, 21.5 first half, and 42.5 for the game. Next game up, Hawaii, Utah State. So Hawaii on the road, and they're laying 2.5. When's the last time you saw Hawaii favorite on the road? Not very often in that one. 60.5 total. No play for us in this one. And to be really honest, we'd probably take the 2.5 at home with the home team in Utah State. 3:30 Eastern window is a big window here. LSU, Florida. Florida at home, 4-point dog at home. Florida got their rear end kicked. Again, LSU just got embarrassed at home against Alabama. No play for us in this one here. If we had to lean one direction, it would be to LSU to kind of make up for the embarrassing loss they just went through. Next game up, 3:30 Eastern window again, Virginia, Notre Dame. Notre Dame's definitely started to come on here lately. Riley Leonard definitely looks comfortable at quarterback for the Fighting Irish. They're a 23.5-point favorite in this one. This line's went up as well from 22.5. So we like the Fighting Irish here. Notre Dame minus 5.5 first quarter, 12.5 first half, and 22.5 for the game. Next game up, Boston College, SMU. SMU looks really good. Boston College has had some moments up and down, back and forth, yada, yada, yada. This line's moved a couple points. And this line, to be really honest, by Saturday game time, this thing could be to 21. Started off earlier in the week at 17, now all the way up to 19. But we do like SMU at home in this one quite a bit, as their offenses can be dynamic. SMU minus 6.5 first quarter, 9.5 first half, and 17 for the game. Next game up, Penn State, Purdue. Penn State on the road at Purdue. Let's be honest, Purdue just went scoreless against Ohio State, and we kind of expect the same thing in this one, to be really honest here. Purdue has trouble offensively, and defensively, they allow people to score at will. Now, they did slow down Ohio State, let's say, the first quarter of their last matchup in the first half, and then kind of Ohio State just dominated in the second half. But if you can't put up any points, obviously you can't win. Total of 51 is what we're going to be focused on here, and we're going to take the under. Penn State, Purdue, under 10.5 first quarter, 27.5 first half, and 51 for the game. Next game up, Louisville, Stanford. Even though the line's 3 touchdowns basically in this game, I think this game's kind of interesting. I honestly think that they've got this game pegged right about the line. I expect Louisville to get a 3-touchdown win here on the road. Now, Louisville offense has been great, and they've played a lot of tight games. So let's see if they, on a game they should blow somebody out, can do so. We would slightly lean Louisville there, but no play for us in that one. Still that 3:30 Eastern window. Oregon State, Air Force. If you've seen Air Force play, you've been like me and going, what the hell? They can't even freaking barely get a field goal against anybody. Oregon State's not been an offensive juggernaut, but only having to cover 3.5, 4. Sign me up. Oregon State minus a half first quarter, 2.5 first half. And we did get them at 4. They're at 3.5 at some spots right now as well. All right, next game up, South Florida and Charlotte. 2 hard teams to read. A little inconsistency, which is the bettor's worst friend. On that one, Charlotte at home, 2.5-point home dog, 54.5 total. If we had a slight lean anywhere, it'd probably be to Charlotte, but nothing we'd be willing to stick any money behind in that one. All right, now we get to the 4 o'clock Eastern window, Nebraska, USC. All right, so USC's had to switch out quarterbacks. Nebraska coming on the road. They have not looked great on the road. Dylan Raiola looks like a true freshman a lot of times when they're on the road. At home, obviously got the crowd behind them. A lot of things going there. Lines actually moved towards Nebraska. We got this a little early in the week, even though USC's definitely had one of those seasons they'd rather forget. We do like USC in this matchup at home. So we got them at minus 3.5 first quarter, 5.5 first half, 8.5 for the game. And like I said, patience is good for you all because they are down to 7 at the moment as well. So feel free to take advantage of that one. Next game up, also 4 o'clock Eastern, James Madison, Old Dominion. James Madison on the road here, 2.5-point favorite, 51.5 total. I've seen Old Dominion put up 50 points by themselves. I've seen James Madison put up 50 points by themselves. And we only have a total here of 51.5, and neither team's really known for defense. So give us James Madison, Old Dominion, over 10.5 first quarter, 24.5 first half, and 51.5 for the game. Next game up, Baylor, West Virginia, as well at that 4 o'clock Eastern. This is one of our favorite games of the day. This line continues to move as well. West Virginia at home's been pretty good. They put up some good fights. They come off a big win last week. I'm surprised they weren't favored in this game, to be really honest, here against Baylor. Baylor getting a little bit of respect here. I mean, they've had some pretty good games. The big key for Baylor and their wins, they've kept the turnovers down. Just like with everything else, you got to keep those. You can't be giving the other team extra possessions here. But we really like West Virginia, one of the better bets of the day for us. West Virginia plus a half first quarter, plus a half first half, and plus 2.5 for the game. Now, just a reminder in that one as well, that is down to 1. So if you're wanting West Virginia type money, get in now, or just play money line now as well if you think they're going to win it straight up. Next game up, Troy, Georgia Southern. So Georgia Southern at home, 7.5-point favorite, 54 total. Troy's been god-awful. Might be the most polite way to put it on what Troy football's been this year, but it is what it is, right? Georgia Southern for us in this one, minus 2.5 first quarter, 4.5 first half, and 7.5 for the game. And next game up, Missouri, South Carolina. At 4:15 Eastern time. South Carolina, the best pass rush in the SEC. Offensively, they've been able to put up some points. They definitely did against Oklahoma as they created a bunch of turnovers in that one. Missouri's had trouble moving the ball all season long. Total in this game is only 41.5. Very low total for a couple SEC teams. No play for us in this one. If we had a slight lean at all, it would be to the under here. I think it's going to be a defensive battle, or maybe Missouri doesn't score, and I don't know if South Carolina can put up 40 by themselves. 5 o'clock Eastern time frame. Arkansas State, Georgia State. All right, so Georgia State, this line's definitely on the move, as Arkansas State has been really disappointing as of late. Georgia State at home, though, we believe is an extremely solid play here. The line's moved from 1.5 to 3. I'd still take it at the 3, but maybe just be a little bit more cautious. But Georgia State -0.5 first quarter, -0.5 first half, and 1.5 for the game. Next game up, Arizona State, Kansas State. In Manhattan at night, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, 6 o'clock there in the Central time zone. So games should start off pretty much in the dark and finish that way for sure. Kansas State, 7.5 point favorite. Scadaboo sounds like he's going to be back. That's why this line, I believe, has moved from 9 to 7.5. I like K-State at home to cover games, except against Kansas so far. The in-state rivalry game here. But I think they've got enough firepower to get this done. Kansas State does, and hold out ASU. ASU, by the way, was predicted by a lot of spots to be last place in the Big 12, so I think they've had a great season. They're bowl eligible as well. So Mr. Dillingham, or Coach Dillingham, or Coach Kenny, whatever you want to call him, has done a great job with the Sun Devils. As we're here around them locally, they have played well. Scadaboo's been fantastic. The quarterback, Levis, played pretty well as well, being a youngster, but give us K-State in this one here. K-State -2.5 first quarter, 5.5 first half. And we did get it at 9 for the game. Like I said, 7.5 looking even better. 7 o'clock Eastern time as well. Boise State, San Jose State. So Boise finally doesn't cover this last week. Now they're a 14.5 point favorite on the road against San Jose State. More Gente, more all the time. It is pretty interesting, though, when they're not handing the ball off 30 times a game. Their offense, like passing game wise, can be pretty dynamic. As there's been games where people have definitely loaded 9 in the box and dared them to throw, and they've done a good job of that. I think they could do that here against San Jose State as well, but we like Boise in this one quite a bit. Lines moved a little bit, but Boise -3.5 first quarter, 7.5 first half, and 13.5 for the game. Next game up, Southern Miss, Texas State. Man, if Texas State wouldn't have had like 4 or 5 bum games in a row, we'd probably be back on this one here. But Southern Miss is just, they are a bad football team to watch and not getting any better. Texas State favored by 4 touchdowns here, 56.5 total. No play for us in this one, but we would lean to playing Texas State -28. 7 o'clock Eastern time frame window again. South Alabama, Louisiana. This game, South Alabama on the road, 59.5 total. South Alabama's had one of the bigger scoring games of the season. Then sometimes the offense gets completely forgot about. Which one are we going to see here? We think the offense kicks it in gear on this one. We like the dog here. South Alabama plus 2.5 first quarter, 4.5 first half, and 7.5 for the game. Next game up, Oregon, Wisconsin. This is a game we would love to be in on Oregon. I'm getting a little tired of the second half. We don't play nobody because we've got a bigger lead. And then these back doors allowing stuff in. Oregon favored by 13.5 going to Camp Randall. 51.5 total. No play for us in this one. We would lean Oregon, though. This line was 14.5 down a little bit. I think a lot of the other, how do I put this, respected bettors out there also getting tired of the Oregon not a backdoor cover on them. Good chance, I think, for Wisconsin to do that here, as Oregon seems like they're in cruise control to get to the Big Ten game, championship game. They need to kick it in gear and be hot going in, because they're going to probably have to play Ohio State again. And playing a team twice and beating them twice, not an easy feat. I mean, look what Washington did to Oregon last year, beating them twice, and that everybody was shocked by that one. 7:30 Eastern time, game of the day. 2 top 12 college football ranked teams. Tennessee travels to Athens, Georgia. 9.5 points is what the Volunteers are getting on the road. 47 total is where it sits now. Be really honest, this line has moved on the total side, by the way, from 49 down to 47. So now you're getting into a range. 48 is kind of a key number. So you're getting into a range here that I might stay away from the total, but at the 49, we loved it. on that one. Georgia has not figured out how to get out of their own way when it comes to interceptions and fumbles. Tennessee has struggled mightily to score pretty much all season, especially in the first half of their last 5 or 6 games. Even against Oklahoma, they only put up 25 spot there. I don't think they get anywhere near putting up 25 against Georgia. I expect this game probably to be played in the teens, as both defenses are really strong. I will give Tennessee this. They're not scoring points like they have in the past, but man, oh man, does their defense look 100 times better than it has under the last couple of years under Josh Heupel on this one. Unders for us in this one here. Tennessee, Georgia, under 10.5 first quarter, 24.5 first half, 49 for the game. Like I said, the 47 number, I would buy this thing back to 48 and then play the under from there. Just play a little alternate line. All right, then we get to the 7:45 Eastern time, and we should see fireworks in this one. New Mexico State, Texas A&M. A&M favored by 39. Total at 54. We love the over here. I don't think we're not even going to need that much from New Mexico State, but as Texas A&M against inferior competition has definitely rolled up the points, but we love the over. Texas A&M, New Mexico State over 13.5 first quarter, 29.5 first half, 54 for the game. Next game up, UAB and Memphis. So this line's taken off as well. Memphis, man, at the early part of the season, the defense looked stout. The offense was coming along. Then they played North Texas, and since that North Texas game where they gave up, it seemed like 3,000 points, the defense has really went to crap. The offense still really hasn't improved too much, but UAB is no bueno. They are not strong competition for here. This line, like I said, has went from 14 to 16. You're getting up in that range, but Memphis should still be able to cover like 17 plus. If it gets above that, I definitely wouldn't play it, but they should be able to cover that number. We did grab it at the 14, but we'll give you the bets here. Memphis minus 3.5 first quarter, 7.5 first half, 14 for the game. Next game up, Wake Forest, North Carolina. Can somebody explain to me the North Carolina team? Because they've definitely done quite a bit better here as of late. They're an 11-point favorite at home, 64 total. This is a team that gave up 70 to James Madison, and they look like a completely different team. They're, no play for us in this one because they're just confusing to say the least. But we would lean North Carolina minus the 11. 9:30 Eastern time, Washington State, New Mexico. This is a line that has moved dramatically against us here. We took Washington State at the 12.5 number. They've been an offensive juggernaut. New Mexico can score a buttload of points too. Total of 72 might be in danger of going over in this one. It would not shock me if this game can get into the 80s. We could see 52-30, 52-38, something to that effect. It would not shock me in the least to see this game 80s, maybe even push 90. We love Washington State in this spot, even though they're on the road here. Washington State minus 3.5 first quarter, 6.5 first half, 12.5 for the game. Like, you can get it at 10 now. Love it even more at 10. 2 games left on the board, 10:15 Eastern time. Kansas travels to Provo to play BYU. Kansas all of a sudden played a lot better once they basically shot themselves out of a chance to do anything in the Big 12. BYU still undefeated, coming off that Holy War win against Utah. They're a 3-point home favorite, and winning a game at night at Provo is no easy task here. No play for us in this one. We might come back to this thing, but BYU, we would definitely lay it behind them, laying the 3. And 10:30 Eastern time, UNLV, San Diego State, game out in Vegas. UNLV currently at 21 points. This line's went up 0.5 point so far this week. UNLV's offense, fantastic. Defense can be a little wonky. And they got the Hawaii flu last week. They got a win against Hawaii, but they didn't cover the number. It happens on teams going down to Hawaii. That's why Hawaii is so heavily bet, and they're normally the catch-ball game up for Saturday. UNLV's offense here, I just think, is so much better than San Diego State. We can't stay away. UNLV minus 5.5 first quarter, 11.5 first half, and 20.5 for the game. All right, so we just went through a bunch of bets for college football Saturday. How do we get a chance to take a look at all those? No problem at all. We've got them posted in multiple spots online, TikTok, YouTube channel pages, as well at the end of every episode on YouTube. It's docs.google.com/spreadsheet. Click on that link, go to the football 24-25 tab, and then scroll down to college football week 12. Obviously, we went through the Saturday bets, but you also see the Tuesday through Friday bets there as well. You'll see the bets themselves, what juice we got them at, how many units we wagered, and then what book we placed them at, then obviously the results once everything's all finished up for you as well. Do you like the content that you're seeing here and want to see some more? We'd love to have you along for the ride. All you need to do is hit follow or subscribe, depending on the social media platform you're on, and we will show up in your follow or subscriptions tab, or make life a little simpler for yourself. Turn on notifications for that social media platform. You'll get a notification sent to your phone or device to let you know Sports Bets for Free has dropped a new episode of bets. Also, promo bonus bets to give away in 49 out of the 50 states out there. Sorry, Nevada. They are very protecting of your gaming out there. Sports books, online casinos, and fantasy sites available. Chance to take advantage of their play on their money rather than your money. You can find that link on a couple sites online, TikTok and YouTube channel page for Sports Bets for Free. The website address is bit.ly/sportsbets for free -bh. Click on that link. You will automatically get routed to the state. It'll show you everything available the state that you're in, and just sign up at one of those spots there. You help support the show and get some free, get some promo bonus bets as well. Also, private Discord channel available for everybody out there if you'd like help making money on sports wagering. This is a long-term play for us. This is not something we just pick and choose one play a day. We have a ton of action going on as well. We don't expect you to play everything that we're playing, but we definitely can help mold and make your season successful and profitable, which makes sports wagering so much more fun. And obviously, we're big sports fans if we're doing it as well. So gives us an opportunity to do a couple things that we love, making money and watching sports. If you can feel free to join us on the Discord. All you need to do is subscribe to us through TikTok. Yes, it's a few bucks a month, cheaper than Netflix, but Netflix isn't going to help you make any money whatsoever, and we are. So subscribe through TikTok. Once you do that, we will send you the link through in the messages there, so that which will give you an invite to the Discord channel and be able to see all the bets and everything posted daily. And like, for example, these college football bets, they had a few days ahead of time as well to get ahead of some of these line moves and juice moves. So not only make money, but we're going to save some money on some line moves and juice moves as well. We do appreciate everybody's support as always, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.